Hello and welcome back to Bike Matters. My name is Brett and today I'm really excited. We have the Honda ADV350. Now this is brand new model for 2022, and when Honda announced it towards the end of 2021, I instantly wanted to get my hands on it. And I know a lot of you guys have been going crazy in the comments requesting it as well, so I'm so pleased to have it in for a few weeks to do a full review on. Now it is a crossover adventure scooter and it's following in the footsteps of the ADV350, which is like a cross between the Forza 750 and the Africa Twin adventure bike. That bike has sold extremely well for Honda since they announced it back in 2017. It's done especially well in Europe. Now Honda being Honda has spotted a gap in the market, a very A2 size gap in the market. And using the Forza 350 as foundations, they give us the ADV350. When it comes to the looks and styling of the ADV350, I think it looks great, I really do. Admittedly, when I saw it at Motorcycle Live 2021, I thought it looked okay. But with each day I spend with this thing, I like it more and more. But for me, it is kind of a bike of two halves, because at the front here is really where the bulk of the adventurous kind of styling is. We have this typical adventure bike style windscreen, which is manually adjustable into 4 positions. Then we have this gorgeous front fairing with large LED headlight, and you can see how this is related to other models in Honda's range, such as the NT1100, the Forza range, and the X-ADV. But that's not it. We've got those gorgeous upside down show off forks at the front. Then we've got a negative LCD display. Again, it doesn't look like it should be on a maxi scooter. It looks like it comes from an adventure bike. Then we've got the naked handlebars, which are quite wide, and we've got the knuckle protectors too. It's only really when we start going further back from this point, it starts going into its kind of scooter characteristics. We've got the fuel tunnel and that large comfy maxi scooter seat. And there's plenty of room for a pillion on there too. And the whole panel work along the side just works terrifically well with the rest of the scooter. And it just gives a look that's so new and fresh to the maxi scooter, especially the A2 maxi scooter range. I think the ADV really stands out well. Now the engine inside this is exactly the same engine as the Forza 350, but that is no bad thing. It's an ESP Plus 330cc single-cylinder liquid-cooled engine that puts out 28.8 horsepower and 31.5 Newton meters of torque. Now it is a single cylinder, but it has a counterweight balancing shaft to help reduce those vibrations. But what does all that spec mean out on the road? Well, it's a terrifically smooth engine, I have to say, very refined, but it builds up acceleration very respectfully. I don't think many people would be disappointed with the performance of the scooter. It's going to be great for newbies, yes, without doubt, but I think many seasoned bikers will love it as well. When you get to the higher speeds, about 70, 80 miles an hour, you have all the confidence you need in a bike this size. It holds the road nicely, and the engine, I felt no ill effects from vibrations. It's lovely, smooth and refined. Now we did take this out with some of the Honda 500s, and this stuck to them incredibly well. You just won't be disappointed. And it's quite frugal as well, but more on that later on. As far as top speed is concerned, it's going to be about 90-95 miles an hour. The fuel tank on the ADV350 isn't the biggest in the world at 11.7 litres, but with the estimated kind of 80 to 85 miles per gallon, you should, using every drop of that tank, kind of get to about 210 miles in range. Let's move on to braking next, and at the front here we have a 256mm braking disc with a 2-piston Nissan caliper. To the rear we have a 240mm disc with a single piston caliper, and of course we have dual channel ABS. Out on the road though, the braking is good, it's adequate, but with a bike that is as good as this, the braking is one small aspect that could slightly be improved. You just want a little bit more bite on that front brake. If you need to come to a good solid halt quite quickly, you are definitely using both those brakes. Not to say braking on this is bad by any means, it's not, but it could just be that little bit better. Moving on to suspension, and at the front here we have the gorgeous gold Showa upside down forks with 125mm of travel. To the back we have those twin shocks with reservoirs, again Showa there, and they look fantastic. And yes, it makes this whole scooter look very adventurous indeed, but this is not an off-road bike by any means. It is still very much road based, that's for sure. I don't think you're going to be taking it on fields or green lanes anytime soon. It just looks the part. The ride itself is quite firm. It's not, you know, rattling your bones and making you uncomfortable by any means. It is quite a nice, pleasant ride to it, but it's just a firmer ride that you expect from a big scooter such as this. When it comes to the wheel size, it's very typical of a MAXI scooter here. At the front, we have a 15-inch wheel, and to the rear, we have a 14-inch wheel, and we have Metzeler tyres. So overall, yes, it's very adventurous indeed, but the wheel size do tell you this is more of a road-going scooter. A great thing Honda have been able to do with the ADV350, thanks to the tubular frame, is to keep this lightweight. It's well in at under 200 kilograms at 186 kilos, which means out on the road it's an absolute doddle to ride. It's light as a feather and you won't experience any kind of heavyweight issues there. But when it comes to manual handling, again, as long as you do it respectfully, it is quite a lightweight bike to move. The seat height comes in at 795 millimeters high, which is quite the average seat height. But it is a MAXI scooter and that seat is a little bit wider. So being the short ass that I am at 5'6", I am slightly more on my tippy toes when riding this scooter. So if you are a shorter rider, that's something to be aware of. But that is quite a typical trend for a MAXI scooter. If you are average height or beyond, I really don't see you having much of a problem. The seat itself is lovely, uncomfortable. The slight wall here, which kind of transitions between rider and pillion, is very well placed. Some MAXI scooters have it a little bit too far forward and it kind of annoys the back of the rider. That is definitely not happening here, but there's still plenty of room for that pillion. Now under that nice comfy seat is 48 litres of storage space, so you'll comfortably fit 2 full face helmets in there. But that is not it for storage, because on the back of the leg shield is a glove box with a further 2.5 litres of storage space and a USB Type-C charging port. If that isn't enough storage space for you, then there's optional extras such as the top box from Honda, which works with the same smart key technology as the scooter itself. Moving on to technology next, and there's a decent amount here as standard. We've got the full LED lighting, which looks great. We've got that decent negative LCD display, traction control which you can toggle off or on, USB Type-C charging ports, and that smart key technology which has been nothing but reliable and user-friendly the whole time. And you can have things too, like the Bluetooth connectivity for the app. So as things go, it's a really decent level of spec on the ADV350 in regards to tech. Now currently there are 3 colorway options available on this: grey, silver or red. Take your pick. But let's move on to the business end of things. How much does one of these cost? Well, I think and hope you'll be pleasantly surprised, because it costs £5,699, which is the same price as the Forza 350. And when we look at that against competitors, Yamaha X-Max 300 for instance, that is about £251 more than this. Likewise, the BMW C400X is about £551 more, and the Legend, which is the Suzuki Bergman 400, is about £1,300 more than this. So I think in the current market, you've really got to appreciate what the ADV has to offer. So what are my final thoughts on the Honda ADV350? Yes, there's little bits that you could say, if you're being really nitpicking, could be improved. The front brake could have a little bit more bite, just be a little bit sharper. You could have a slightly bigger fuel tank, just to increase that range to make it even better for touring. And optionals, kind of like heated grips, could be done as standard. That is me being a little nitpicky on it, because otherwise this is a fantastic scooter. I adore the adventure aspect to it. Yes, it's not going to go off-road, but that doesn't bother me. It would be a road-going scooter anyway, and it just looks so fantastic. I think the ADV will sell in really good numbers and just offer something alternative in a MAXI scooter market that, let's be honest, has become a little bit stale. Now, I hope you've enjoyed my review of the ADV350. If you have, please give it a like. Got any comments or questions about the ADV or requests for us to test, put that in the comments section below. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, ding that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.